I'm really good at creating something that I'm against. And I'm also good at, if you ever tell me something that I cannot do, I'm gonna let you know that I'm doing it. Right. Somehow you're gonna fucking know one way or another that I'm doing it. It may not be like in your face. I may make sure that I run across the daggone world, so then it's on the news, and you turn the news on and say, how the hell
did he do that?
I want to do something that you know I'm here. I'm here. So every time I lose like a big significant amount of weight, I call that recruiter up and say, hey man, I'm here. And before I knew it, man, this guy became almost like my best friend at that time, because I started actually changing his life. He started seeing, wow, man, like, I'm glad I took a shot on this guy.
Right.
And not only did I lose weight, I had to go back and take the ASVAB test again. It's like a watered down SAT a couple more times just to get in the Navy SEAL. So it was a big process. So that 3 months was packed full of like failures, depression, even more. But what I found out in that whole 3 months, I lived a lifetime. In that 3 months, I started realizing if I can flip these insecurities upside down, if I can flip this fear, if I can flip all this shit that made me this depressed, insecure guy, if I can flip it and make it work for me versus against me, I started seeing the power in failure, the power in insecurity, the power in self-doubt. Because I looked at everybody, it may not be true, but that's how I looked at everybody as being way above me. I thought to myself, if I can be at the lowest part in the world, in the sewer, and be able to overcome all this shit, I started using that as power. And I slowly started passing the guys from Harvard, the guys from MIT, the guys who were from great families and shit. I'm like, oh my God, I'm catching up. I had nothing. So I started flipping it and using it as power. Well, there's something that I invented a long time ago. And when you have nothing to draw from, I was able to find strength in every molecule of this earth. I'm able to be in a room with nothing, with no motivation, no inspiration, nothing, and find it. So what I did in those situations was I invented this thing called taking souls. When everybody's all fucked up and you're exhausted and you're weak and you're tired and you're looking around and everybody looks as bad as you or even worse, I'm like, you know what? I want to now make a statement. It's the perfect time to make a statement. To let you know where your life ends and mine begins. And so the statement there is, I muster up every bit of strength from their looks on their faces and how they feel, and how I'm gonna now, from my childhood, where I came from, how I was the bottom of the barrel, I'm now amongst all these uncommon people. I'm now going to make you feel like you're common. So I used their sadness, their weakness, their parts of their life where, God, this sucks. I'm like all poopy pants and messed up. I used that for my strength. And I have this moment of like, let's say we're in the sand, we're running or whatever. I will do a surge. I will do something when everybody's like, how the fuck is he doing this? And from that look on their face, that feeling of, God, man, this guy must be something special. It then surges me further and faster and harder for a long time. So it's energy's everywhere. But the thing is, it's so loud, that voice in your head of pain and suffering and discomfort and I don't want to do this is so loud that you're unable to really calm it down and say, okay, there's something here. It's a patient calm that you have to bring to yourself to say, I know I have something here, but that voice is so powerful that it just wants you just to, let's leave.
Right.
We're done. It spazzes you out and you want to go, versus saying, let's take a second. Hang on. Before we spaz the fuck out, hang on. And in that moment, you can think clearly and find that strength out there for you. Well, I know one thing, and this is a true statement that I've said several times. A lot of us don't know of a whole nother world that exists. It's on the other side of suffering. Once you break these barriers that you have made for yourself, like the mind is the most powerful thing in the world. It is so amazing that I used to be a 300-pound guy and I thought that was it. Could barely read, could do anything, and now that what was inside that person was this guy that's in front of you today. That's how scary the mind is. And that's what I started realizing through this journey, is that once I got a taste of, wow, man, I haven't even begun to crack what the mind is capable of. And what I started realizing is on the other end of suffering, that's the real growth of life, because you realize how the mind processes shit. And I talk about another thing called theory and practice. A lot of people are theorists. These smart guys that read these fucking books and shit, man, and they sit down, they tell you what the mind is supposed to do. And a lot of us listen to that shit. It becomes like, this is it, man. This old man who has been studying the mind forever, this is the cap that we have. By being a practitioner, I went out and realized a lot of these guys are so wrong, man. The mind has capabilities that are so unknown. And I found that through suffering. And there's a whole nother world on the other end of that.
Some of you people don't fucking get it, okay? And I'm talking specifically to you young people. And I want you to think about something. I want you to think about some of the greatest accomplishments that have ever happened in the world, okay? I'm talking about the Wright brothers inventing an airplane. I'm talking about, Usain Bolt running a 100-meter dash, setting a world record. Talking about 4-minute mile, okay? Talking about some of the greatest achievements in human history. Do you think that any of these people, any single one of them, got where they want to go or accomplish what it is they set out to accomplish by going half-ass, by going half-throttle? Okay, Lewis Hamilton isn't the Formula One champion because he goes around the motherfucking racetrack at half-throttle, okay? The Buccaneers aren't the Super Bowl champions because they played the Super Bowl half throttle. All right. But everywhere I look around, I see young people. When I say young people, normally I mean young in entrepreneurship. But right now I mean fucking young. I mean 16 to 25. Okay. If you guys don't wake the fuck up and understand what the world's really about, you're going to lose. And not only are you going to lose, your kids are going to lose. And their kids are going to lose. And their kids are going to lose. Because you guys have been indoctrinated by the education system, by your parents, by your teachers, by social trends to believe that everything is just going to happen for you. Okay? And what I see now is a big group of our population who are young beating on this victim drum and trying to identify what victim group they belong to. And I'm going to tell you guys can beat on that drum as long and as loud as you want to. You can do it your whole life. And a lot of people do. And you will never win with them. Ever. So you have a question to ask yourself. Do you actually want a fulfilling, good life? Or do you want to just beat this fucking drum your whole life? Because the people that you listen to in your school, your parents, the people on TV and the media, they're all telling you the same shit. Oh, take it easy on yourself. Oh, it's okay to get 17th place. Oh, everything matters. And you're special. Guys, you're not special. Fucking 17th place doesn't mean shit. It ain't ever going to mean shit. And if you think it means shit, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get shit your whole fucking life. Okay? And I'm so tired of seeing people who can't recognize the obvious of that you have a choice. You have a choice. Your choice is to either join this group over here of nobodies and nothings and celebrate nothing with them every fucking weekend and bitch and moan and cry about how everybody fucked you and society fucked you and your job fucked you and your upbringing fucked you and your race fucked you and the government fucked you, and you're gonna fucking go over there and you're gonna be fucking miserable. Or you can come over here and you can understand that the only thing noble about victimhood is overcoming it. You can understand that the only thing noble about your life is going to be what you show people is actually possible.